I'm extremely honored to be your keynote speaker. Many of you wonder why. Simply a middle school debate banquet. But to me, it is so much more. It is a celebration of your wins and your losses and the things you have yet to accomplish and the things you have yet to imagine you are capable of doing. In this room, it sits the future of the city of Newark. Unlike many other middle schools across the nation, you all have an extreme opportunity to debate. This is unfortunate considering that I got the chance to witness the capabilities of these middle schoolers in this room. I was beyond impressed. Not only were y'all smart and passionate, but y'all are motivated.
Hi, my name is Marcia Brown, and I am the Vice Chancellor for External and Governmental Relations at the great Rutgers University in Newark. And I'm excited to talk about our great collegiate debate team. It's approximately 6 to 7 years old, and it's done phenomenal things in its journey toward this championship.
We're only the second team in the entire history of collegiate debate to win the double national championship crown. Cross-Examination Debate Association, they won the championship, and 2 weeks later they won the championship of the national debate. It's only been done one other time in the entire history of American collegiate debate, and that other time also had a New York student time. You're not here at a debate, although some of you are debate coaches. What you're here for is a game changer. Debate in the past, and debate in every other town and city in the United States is limited to a few highly motivated students who spend sometimes up to 40 hours a week.
I'm extremely honored to be your keynote speaker. Many of you wonder why. Simply a middle school debate banquet. But to me, it is so much more. It is a celebration of your wins and your losses and the things you have yet to accomplish and the things you have yet to imagine you are capable of doing. In this room, it sits the future of the city of Newark. Unlike many other middle schools across the nation, you all have an extreme opportunity to debate. This is unfortunate considering that I got the chance to witness the capabilities of these middle schoolers in this room. I was beyond impressed. Not only were y'all smart and passionate, but y'all are motivated.
Hi, my name is Marcia Brown, and I am the Vice Chancellor for External and Governmental Relations at the great Rutgers University in Newark. And I'm excited to talk about our great collegiate debate team. It's approximately 6 to 7 years old, and it's done phenomenal things in its journey toward this championship.
We're only the second team in the entire history of collegiate debate to win the double national championship crown. Cross-Examination Debate Association, they won the championship, and 2 weeks later they won the championship of the national debate. It's only been done one other time in the entire history of American collegiate debate, and that other time also had a New York student time. You're not here at a debate, although some of you are debate coaches. What you're here for is a game changer. Debate in the past, and debate in every other town and city in the United States is limited to a few highly motivated students who spend sometimes up to 40 hours a week
really are eyes on that election. Like, what's happening?
Right. It's funny because, you know, people ask that too, and I don't know if there's one answer about, you know, why it happened. Right? I think it was one of those things that I think the best metaphor for it is the snowball effect, right?
Okay.
I remember actually coming home. I think it was my junior year at Georgetown. I was coming home for some break, and I was meeting some friends at a pizza shop downtown. And I think at the time we had seen some article came out about a number of shootings that happened, right? Like homicides of young black men, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we were talking, and, you know, what I realized, right, is that when you think about, you know, some of the biggest, most intractable problems that a city like Newark faces, right, which is violent crime, right? You think about the main victims and perpetrators of homicides in Newark are young men of color under the age of 30, right?
Yeah.
You think about the demographic of Newark that is most unemployed, right? You think about young black and brown women of color, right? When you think about the educational disparities in Newark, which is one of the main issues in the city, you're talking about young people in the city. So when you're talking about this city's most intractable problems, you're talking about problems that intimately affect young people, right? And yet we had a city council, you know, we had a government that wasn't representative of young people.
Yeah.
And so there's countless examples around the country where young people have stepped up and made meaningful contributions to solving their city's problems. You look at Stockton, California, who elected Michael Tubbs at the age of 26 to be mayor, right? And he's become one of the more successful mayors in California, right? And so I just at that time believed that young people had something to offer. And so I was talking, and my friends heard that, and they were like, well, you should just run, right? You should just run.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, why not run? And so I got some friends together. We each put up like $100. We opened a campaign account with a couple $100. And we said, you know, listen, if we stick around for 3 debates and we get our voice heard and we get our problems heard, it's a success, right? That was the original plan, to show up to some debates, participate, and, you know, go back to our normal lives, right? But it turned out after the first and the second debate that people really started to resonate with what we were saying, right? It was, you know, early social media days, and so we got on Twitter and we got on Instagram, and we started talking about these things more and more. And to my disbelief, right, we had regular Northers reaching out to us and saying, how can we get involved? You know, how can we join this movement, right? And particularly young people, right? Folks who are traditionally disenfranchised from the political process, right? Young people don't usually vote. Young people don't show up to participate often. We had young people in the city saying, how can we get on board? How can we join this movement? And so what started off as a campaign of a couple $100 and a plan to be around for a couple months turned out to be a campaign that raised over $30,000 and a campaign that lasted a year and a half. And so it literally was the most challenging and most fun time of my life, right? And so it was a tight race. There were 8 or 9 folks running, and we ended up losing. But the fact that we made the ballot, which is not an easy thing to do. I think at the time we needed to get 700 or 800 signatures, was a success, and no one expected us to stay around as long as we did, but we did. And you know, even though we lost, I always consider it a win, because what we did was activate young people in the city to participate in the political process. And now, you know, you see young people all the time running for things in the city, whether it's school board, you know, whether it's other things. It's beautiful to see.
Definitely. I believe I voted for you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. Definitely.
Thank you.
I was down for the cause.
Yes.
I really was.
Thank you.
So do you think your age specifically has been more of an asset or hindrance when it comes to your political career thus far?
Certainly for the campaign, it was both, right?
Okay.
I think as a young person, right, you have the ability to be a maverick, right? Be someone who no one has ever saw, right? Be a new person, come with fresh ideas, come with a certain level of energy that folks who kind of been around the track a few times don't have. But at the same time, right, the opposite attributes are, well, this person's inexperienced, or this person, you know, can't really raise the money to succeed, or, you know, this person won't be able to govern once they're elected, right? And
I mean, you did $30,000.
right. Which is not a small amount of money, but also nowhere close to where, you know, some people actually raise, right? And so, you know, pros and cons to being young, right? And so I think there's a balance there, right? I think I enjoyed that, having that ability to be that fresh face and to be that young person and to come with new ideas. You know, but the cons of that are also is that you have to work even harder to make people take you seriously, right? To let people know that you actually have serious ideas and that, you know, you are approaching this with some intentionality, because we certainly had folks who thought we were joking, right? Like, you know, there were a lot of events we went to where we had folks who were literally like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Trust me, I haven't slept in 3 days, so I'm definitely serious, right?" And so, but that's part of being young, is that you have to prove yourself, as you would in almost any other thing, right? Exactly. You're young and you're pushing against the grain, that you often have to prove yourself. So
Definitely. So, what is your vision for Newark? I know Newark is definitely changing. It's certainly changed since when we were in high school. I mean, downtown alone looks a lot different from when we were in high school. So what is your vision for the city of Newark moving forward? And what are 1 to 3 main areas you would focus on?
Well, I sound like a politician again. I mean, I'm not running for anything.
Of course, but, you know.
I'm not running for anything, but, you know, I think for me, right, I think the beautiful thing that's happening in Newark, right, is that what's happening now is that folks are literally rebuilding a city from the ground up, right? You think of all the cities around us, they're, you know, complete cities. You think Boston, you think New York, you think Baltimore, you think Philadelphia, you think Washington, D.C. are pure cities in the Northeast Belt, right? Are cities that, you know, are essentially done, right? They have established institutions, they, you know, sort of have long histories of success in areas where we have struggled, right? And so the beautiful thing about what's happening in Newark is that we can take lessons from things that have happened up and down the East Coast and apply them here, right? You think about downtown is being totally rebuilt with skyscrapers. You know, there is not another city in the Northeast that has that type of space to literally rebuild their downtown, right? You think about what the mayor is doing, like rebuilding institutions, right? Connecting with universities. And so, you know, Newark is just a great place to be if you are an entrepreneur, right? If you have an entrepreneurial spirit. And I don't mean just starting a business, but I mean anything, right? What we're doing is building a city, and that includes businesses, that includes education, that includes institutions, that includes policing, right? And so in many ways, this is a test ground for the best urban ideas out here. And so, you know, really kudos to the mayor and kudos to a lot of the leaders in the city right now who are testing some really innovative ideas, right? The many partnerships with Rutgers, right? I heard the mayor mention at the State of the City a universal basic income pilot, right? A lot of stuff around affordable housing. So, you know, it's just a really great city to be in, to test ideas, and, you know, to try new things and to really be bold. So, you know, my vision for Newark is the vision that's happening right now. You know, a city that's an incubator, a city where folks from the poorest to the richest person, from, you know, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, are trying new ideas, are committing to Newark, and are building a city that's equitable, building a city that's just, and building a city that's an envy of every other city. So,
I like that.
Yes.
I really do like that.
Right.
So, tell me, Rashawn, the way things are going now, how do you see debate and education working in the city of Newark? You know, myself being a graduate of Shabazz High School, and understanding the disparities that happen between students like myself and students, who went to university in science, like what was going on back then compared to what the fight is now, or what the issue is now, I guess, if you will. But having that, incorporating that with the idea of a broader aspect of understanding debate, understanding speech, that kind of stuff. Where do you see that possibly going?
Well, I think
I would like to go.
right. I think the first thing I'll say, right, is like, I think debate is one of the most under-recognized activities this country has to offer, right? Debate in so many ways is the great equalizer, right? We were talking about Elijah Smith, right? A student who came from Newark, right? When you go in a speech and debate, when you travel these tournaments around the country, you're going against some of the top prep schools in the country, right? And here we have in the city of Newark a student, Elijah Smith, who came from here, got his debate chops from here, and ended up winning everything in his path, right? And has become really one of the best debaters in the country, right? And so, even below him, right, folks who have traveled to tournaments across the country and won and succeeded, and debate is not an easy thing. It's not a small thing. It's walking into a room, picking up an argument, and debating the merits of that argument, right? And to see Newark students go up against the best students around the country and be competitive and and be successful should tell you that this activity is worth investing in, right? And so I think what I would like to see is greater investment in debate. Even if it doesn't mean necessarily participating, even if it doesn't mean traveling with the debate team, but I would love to see debate infused in curriculum.
Favorite quote you would like to leave us with today?
A favorite quote? I had one. I'm trying to put it all together in my head right now.
No, I've been there.
Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. So don't chase what people think you should chase. Don't chase what you think you should be doing, but chase what gives you the most energy, what lifts your spirit the most, and get up every day and do that. Wait,
Rashawn, you need to say that again for the viewers so they can get all of that. That was golden. Please.
So, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of those quotes that literally have always kind of stuck with me. Yeah, and it's hard sometimes because sometimes you just do what people say is, you should be doing this, or this is the best thing.
Exactly.
It's a conscious decision to say, like, I'm passionate about this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. But and I'm sure you're creative, so creative types can often deal with this a lot, right? Like chasing your passions versus chasing what folks say you should do. Get a regular job.
True. I think I can say for myself, I'm very lucky and blessed that I've had parents who were just like,
nice,
cool, let's do it.
Awesome.
Oh, since day one. So dope. Well, unfortunately, you all, that's all the time we have for you today. But before we close out, we would like to do what we like to do all the time here at the Newark Debater. We like to end with a game. So the game we have for you, Rashawn, is called Defend That.
Defend.
Yes, defend that. Now, Rashawn will have one central question he needs to answer, and he has to sit in the hot seat and defend his answer at all costs for 1 minute. So let's see how he does. Are we ready? We have our minute on the count. Are we ready? We're going to get that set for you because,
So I pick a position, and then you poke holes in it? How does that go?
No, you just defend it.
Oh, I just defend it for a minute.
You just defend it for a whole minute.
All right.
I'm going to give you the question, and then you go ahead.
All right. Don't laugh, guys.
Or the scenario, if you will. And you go ahead. You're good? All right. Are y'all ready at home? All right, let's do this. Okay. Your question for today is, if you could will any bill into existence without any resistance, what would it be and why? 1 second. I'm going to say it one more time. If you could will any bill into existence without any resistance, what would it be and why? Go.
Struggling with this one. I would say equitable education funding.
Okay.
And the reason I say that, right, is because, and this is cliche too, but you know, young people are our future, right? The cornerstone of any society is education, right? So, you know, we have to invest in young people, right? Because young people are our future. They're the future app designers. They're the future technologists. They're the future scientists. They're the future lawyers. And so we have to make sure that every community has an equal shot, right? Because there's greatness in, you know, lying in every city. You know, the corners where you think they don't have greatness exists. And so, you know, we have to make sure that we're investing in education and that it's equitable.
Boom. There we go. Rashawn in a minute.
All right.
Awesome. Well, I hope you all, I wonder, tell us if you agree with this policy of what he's talked about, or maybe you have your own. Either way, feel free to let us know at thenewarkdebater@gmail.com. That again is thenewarkdebater@gmail.com. Thank you again for watching. We hope you have had an amazing time with us. Thank you again, Rashawn, for coming out and being a part of our first ever episode of the Alumni series. My name is Malcolm Miner, and I will check you later. Have a great one, guys.
Peace.